Your Honor, State versus Hernandez, 875 Southern 2nd, 1271. I have a copy for the state. And for Your Honor, may I approach?
You may.
Creates a Crawford issue, Your Honor.
I read Hernandez as well while researching this matter. I believe Hernandez dealt with the aspect of silence as opposed to affirmatively making a statement, agreeing with the statement of another. These are distinguishable, but you may briefly speak about Hernandez before the jurors come into the room.
Well, Your Honor, again, I hadn't seen Jones. However, this case specifically holds that adoptive admission must still satisfy Crawford. Again, haven't read Jones, so I don't know how that applies. But I do object, certainly respect the court's ruling.
Objection is noted for the record. The testimony of the sergeant will be permitted as an adopted admission. And again, I will find there are other admissibility theories as well concerning this line of questioning. However, as to the one raised by the state adopted admission specifically, I will find it is permitted. You may bring the jurors.
Judge, before we do that, one additional issue. The statement under an adoptive admission has to have been heard, I believe, by the party that is allegedly adopting it. There's no evidence that my client watched the trial or heard her son's testimony.
As to the foundation of that, Ms. Dugan, you certainly need to lay it. An adoptive admission occurs when there is an express statement agreeing with the statement of another. Concerning any statement by your client that was made in which she agreed or otherwise it stated in some way the testimony of another person at the trial of Charlie Adelson, namely Charlie Adelson was true. This qualifies. Please bring them up. Everyone can be seated. Members of the jury, I hope you enjoyed your lunchtime rest and break. We will continue with the examination of Sergeant Corbett at this point. Ms. Dugan, you may continue with your examination.
Thank you, Judge. No further questions at this time. Thank you.
Cross-examination.
Just a moment, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Sergeant.
Good afternoon.
Now, believe some of this you covered yesterday, but I just want to clarify a few things. These call detail records, they're generated by the carriers.
That's correct.
They're generated for business purposes of the carrier.
Correct.
So they're generated to, back when I think I got a cell phone, we had a plan with a certain limit. Now they're unlimited, but that was one of the reasons why call detail records were created, correct?
Certainly, billing purposes, yes.
And what about network load?
As far as the creation of records,
Yes.
so network load, there are reports that I spoke about, the kind of specialty reports that are more of an engineering standpoint and are used by carriers to more effectively manage their network. Amongst other things might be load, be something that they would be considering with those records.
Now, the call detail records that you testified about extensively over the last couple of days, they do not contain precise geolocation data for a handset, do they?
The majority of the records that I've spoken about, no, do not.
And specifically, the records that you relied upon for mapping purposes that you displayed earlier.
That is correct. All of the records used for mapping are strictly cell site locations. So the locations that you've seen were for the cell site or cell tower the handset was communicating with, not the cell phone itself.
And using the cell site sector, you can at least identify where on a map a handset could be.
Correct.
And so when you're mapping, those dots that are on your maps, those are the cell sites.
That is correct.
They're not the handset.
Correct.
Now, there are variables that influence how a device, a handset, communicates with a network, correct?
Certainly.
Would some of those include the signal strength of the handset?
Signal strength, or really signal quality, is one of the primary things that a handset uses or the network uses to determine which cell site a handset may communicate with. So the signal quality is largely affected by signal strength, as you ask, meaning the closer you are to the tower, the stronger the signal is, generally the better quality the signal is.
Now, what can interfere with a phone or device connecting with a tower?
A number of things, primarily structures, buildings. Here in downtown, we have a number of cell sites around the area, and if you were behind this courthouse, a very large, substantially built building, and there were a cell site on the opposite side, the density of this building would probably prevent your handset from being able to communicate with that cell site, and you may choose a cell site that's somewhere else that your handset is better able to see. Topography, hills, valleys, cell sites that are on the other side of a mountain, your handset may not be able to see or communicate with. Those are really the primary things, bodies of water, but the physical obstruction, topography is probably, to me, the greatest effect.
What about network load on a specific cell site?
So load can be a factor. The handsets, as they're creating energy, this radio frequency, the signals that are going back and forth, it is a bit of noise. And so the towers, if there's a lot of handsets, that can create a lot of noise, which can affect that signal quality that I've been speaking about. So towers can choose to adjust. Breathing is sometimes what it's called, but there may be an adjustment by the tower or the network. If there is high density, then handsets can communicate with other cell sites. Generally, no matter where you are, your handset is able to see multiple cell sites and sectors at the same time. And there's a lot that goes into the choice of particularly which one of those your handset is directed to communicate with for any particular event.
So merely because a handset is communicating with a specific cell tower, cell site, and sector, that doesn't mean that that's the closest one to that handset.
That's correct.
Do the call detour records that you have relied on in this case take into consideration whether or not a tower is under maintenance or partially functioning or otherwise operating at a reduced capacity?
Only in the respect that if it were not functioning, then it would not be listed in the records. If it were not operational, the handset would not be able to communicate with it. So when I see a cell site and sector in the records, I know that it was operational because the handset did in fact communicate with that.
But there's no way to tell from the call detour records that you relied on here whether or not a specific cell site was partially functioning.
I don't know exactly what you mean by partially functional.
Well, were any of them operating at reduced capacity? You can't tell that from the call detail records, can you?
I could not tell the load or the capacity on the tower at any particular time, no.
And so you just listed a number of factors that can affect call routing and cell site selection, correct?
I did, yes.
Now, those same factors can influence when a call is handed off to another cell site, correct?
They can, yes.
And so not only in this instance do we have a handset that is moving on a highway, but you also have those other factors that could influence what cell site the handset is communicating with.
That's correct.
And understanding all of those variables, that's critical to you analyzing and interpreting the data.
It is, yes.
And so would you agree that the analysis that you conduct has some inherent limitations?
It certainly has limitations as far as nothing in the analysis that I've done is meant to say exactly where a handset is. We're unable to do that. Again, I talked about inclusion and exclusion, that we know the general service area of a cell site, and so we include and exclude locations. But the limitation to the effect of we cannot say exactly where a handset is correct.
And so in other words, it involves some degree of estimation or inference?
I would agree with that, yes.
Now, could you pull up the presentation that you were showing us earlier?
I do have it, yes.
I want you to turn, let's start with one thing that the state brought out. Let's go to the frequency report. I believe it's on slide 28.
Apologies, a little trouble getting back there. Slide 28, the frequency report for Donna Adelson.
Okay. Can you explain to the jury again the process of creating this report? I believe what you said yesterday was that you put the data from the carrier into a tool.
A program, yes.
Okay. And then you did the same for Charlie Adelson's CDRs?
Correct.
Catherine Magbanua?
Correct.
Sigfredo Garcia?
Yes.
Luis Rivera?
Yes.
Anyone else?
Really, most any set of records that we had, the frequency report is one of the first things and most basic things that we do with the records.
Now, there's a process that you have to go through called, I believe it's called deduping. Are you familiar with that?
It depends on which where you're referring to it.
Well, when you're talking about call detail records and frequency analysis, there's a way, and I think you gave us an example yesterday on some of your slides about how one communication event can show up multiple times.
Correct. So we do see with certain carriers that a call that comes in that is routed maybe to voicemail creates multiple events, and it creates multiple records, and some of those will be tied to the same number. Some of them are tied to kind of a not fictitious, but a routing phone number, so they will really count against the frequency for a particular target. But as I mentioned, these frequency reports are very general ideas of relationships and associations. So for these, we mentioned that it does include things like miscommunications, calls that went to voicemail. It may include the multiple events, because those things are generally distributed equally across all the calls. It's not just one phone that's going to create those multiple entries. All phones calling in should create about the same things. So it's certainly not meant to be an exact number of communications. It's just an idea of, again, kind of relevance and association.
Okay, so in that vein, if you could look at, let's see. So let's look at, I believe it was slide 122.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now with respect to this slide, have you gone into the data and manually removed duplicate events?
I have, yes.
And the same with, have you done the same for slides 26 and 28?
Slide 26 is the frequency report for Charlie Adelson, and I believe that 28 is, again, Donna Adelson's. No, I have not removed duplicate events from these frequency reports.
Okay. So those aren't accurate.
They are accurate. They accurately represent from the call detail records every time that cell phone number appeared in the records.
Okay, there's a poorly worded question. I apologize. It's not accurate in the sense that there are not 80 actual communications between my client and her son.
There may be fewer. Again, this includes those routed events, the not answered, going to voicemail. All of those are included. Text messages, voice calls, all of those are included in this tallying. It is just from the raw records.
Okay. And so in other words, you see the 80 up there. You recall, I believe it's the AT&T records, could have 3 separate events for one communication. Is that correct?
They could. That would generally only tally 2 for a particular phone number, because that third event is generally going to have a routing phone number in it.
Okay. And so this does not account for that?
It does not.
I believe on slide 98, if you could turn to that. Can you keep going? It might have been the next one. Erase this text after you read it. Was the text erased?
The text was still in the iCloud return, so I could not tell you if it was deleted from the device or not.
You never got the handset that iCloud is associated with,
That is correct.
and that would be Charlie's phone.
Correct.
Okay. Slide 116. Okay, looks like on this one there are two conversations between Charlie Adelson and Catherine McBanawa, correct?
One is an attempt. So as it says, Charlie attempts. Catherine, this was an inbound that I don't believe was answered, or that any actual communications occurred.
Well, okay, so the one event, we don't know what was discussed, do we?
We do not know.
Slide 117. We don't know what was discussed between Charlie and whomever he was speaking with at the Adelson residence, do we?
We do not.
119. We don't know what was discussed between Harvey Adelson and Charlie Adelson.
We do not.
120. We don't know what was discussed between Catherine and Charlie, do we?
We do not.
And we don't have the content of the text messages that the data indicates took place.
That's correct.
Now, with respect to the calls to the landline, do you know anything about the signal strength for the Adelson residents in Coral Springs? You know, as far as their ability to connect with local towers back in 2014.
I only know what I have seen from looking at different sets of records. I know that their handsets have events with location that are consistent with their home on a fairly regular basis. I can do analysis and determine if the handsets are home or not. So as to whether that's great signal or not, there are a number of events their handsets are creating with cell sites near their residence that would be consistent with their residence.
I know that there are parts of my house where I can have a conversation, but if I walk into the garage, I don't have a good signal. You don't know where in the house that they were to have any sort of conversation in their home.
I do not.
Now, if you could go to 135. And advance one. So during this 36 to 48 hour period, does the 7 communications or attempted communications between Donna Adelson and Charlie Adelson indicate a spike?
I would not say so, no.
Okay. And for what time period did you review their records?
In different, we have records that span years, and they are a little different for each person. For some, we have several months. For some, we have years worth of records. So I have looked at periods of time for their records spanning several years.
Okay. Now, specific as to Donna Adelson and Charlie Adelson, you have at least 4 or 5 years worth of records for them,
Probably that many, yes.
if not more.
Possibly, yes.
And so the amount of communications or attempted communications that are indicated during the June 2nd and June 4th, as you refer to it, flurry of communications, 7 is not a spike.
I do not consider it an abnormally high number of communications.
Now, same with respect to the July trip. Can you advance to that slide, please?
Apologies, it'll take just a second. I believe that's what you're looking for.
Yes. Now, again, this is it's approximately 38 hours time period.
Correct.
The 4 communications or attempted communications between my client and her son, those do not represent a spike, do they?
They do not.
And so the flurry of communications that you testified to earlier, at least as it pertains to my client and her son, did not take place, did it?
I'm not sure where the characterization of a flurry came from. I don't believe that I used the term call flurry. We were looking at calling analysis or calling activity during certain periods of time. And the only question being asked of these of the analysis in this time frame is, was there the potential for the exchange of information from one person to the other? And that's what we see, that there is communication from one person to the other across the subjects during a time frame that may be more significant than others. It's not meant to reflect a high volume or a different tempo of communication, just that there is at least the potential for the exchange of information.
Now, let's talk about the emails briefly. Go to slide 140, please. Now, you testified this morning that this was sent out. Now, Evite is an online platform where anyone can go in and create an event and send out invitations, correct?
That's correct.
Back in 2014, do you have any personal knowledge as to how that website operated?
In 2014, I do not.
And I believe that you indicated that there was an indication that Donna Adelson was unfamiliar with that process.
Correct.
As we sit here today, you cannot testify that Donna Adelson created that event on evite.com, can you?
I can only testify as to the email where she asked if her invitations had been sent yet, and where she describes how she entered the contacts, how she entered the invitees as contacts. That's the only thing that I can take from that email.
Now, also with respect to the emails, there were quite a few search warrants done for email accounts in this case, correct?
Yes.
How many emails were recovered during this investigation?
Oh, how, like total number?
Yes.
Oh, hundreds of thousands.
Specific as to donnahardy@gmail.com, how many emails were recovered?
I do not recall the total amount.
In excess of 50,000?
I believe so, yes.
In excess of 70,000?
I don't recall, and I've only seen a subset of those.
Who decided
Emails.
what subset you would review?
Florida Department of Law Enforcement.
Let's look at slide 143. And you testified earlier that this was an email from Dan Markell to Wendy Adelson in January of 2024 concerning their schedule with the kids beginning in April.
January of 2014, but yes.
Yes, sorry. Are you also aware that there were subsequent emails and text messages between the two of them where this schedule changed or was modified?
I'm not aware of any changes or modifications.
So you have not reviewed them or you're not aware of them?
I'm not aware of them. I have not seen anything. I have not done a great deal of research into the schedule with the children, but I am, as I sit here, not aware of any changes.
How did you decide to put this email in the presentation?
The emails are reviewed by whomever is investigating the case, assisting to investigate. They're provided to the state attorney's office for a determination as to what should be included in the presentation.
With respect to Wendy Adelson's phone, are there different types of extractions that can be done on these devices?
Yes, there are different sort of levels of forensic examinations that can be done, yes.
And what are those levels?
Well, it kind of varies by device, by time period, by forensic tool, but we generally talk about a logical extraction where we're we're taking the majority of information we can get access to kind of in a logical fashion. If this appears to be a text message, it's a text message. Phone call is a phone call. It is not as thorough as generally what we may consider a file system or a full file system extraction. So those are kind of the basics.
Okay. Which one is preferable when conducting an investigation?
We want the most detail that we can get.
And the most detailed for most handsets is going to be a full extraction, correct?
It would be, but there are a number of things that may prohibit us from getting that full file system or full extraction. Encryption, passwords that cannot be broken, phones that are not supported by forensic tools. We frequently want the full extraction, but are unable to get it.
Now let's talk about Wendy Adelson's phone. Her phone was searched pursuant to consent, correct?
I believe that's correct.
Okay. And there were no limitations to that consent.
I am not the one who obtained the consent or did the examination, so I don't believe there were, but I don't have firsthand knowledge of that.
Okay, well, I believe, are you aware that Wendy Adelson gave a lengthy statement to investigators?
Yes.
And during the course of that interview, she voluntarily provided her cell phone for extraction.
Again, I believe that is correct.
And are you aware that she put any limitations on that extraction?
I'm not aware of any limitations.
And so, what type of extraction was done on her device?
A logical extraction.
And as we've discussed, a logical extraction is not a complete extraction from a device.
It generally has less information, correct?
In this case, if you look at the extraction, the forensic extraction, there's significantly less data in her phone extraction than in other devices' extractions in this case.
Yes, there is less data, but that may be an indication of less data on her device as well.
I want to talk about the morning of July 18th of 2014. I didn't write down the slide number, but you indicated earlier that, and you had a slide that Wendy called Donna, Donna called Wendy. Can you pull that up?
I can.
Thank you. What slide number is this?
This is slide 196.
Thank you. So slide 196, your analysis reveals that Wendy called her mother first, correct?
Well, these calls are as noted, at the same time. So they're both at 8:09. And one of the limitations we have with some of the sets of records we have is that some were provided with only hours and minutes of call, and some were provided with hours, minutes, and seconds. So these calls actually occurred in the same minute, but it's possible that Donna's call was first.
Don't you have records that indicate seconds?
We do have records that indicate
Specific
seconds.
for this day?
I don't know if we have specific for this day. We have multiple sets of records and multiple overlapping sets of records.
You have been involved in this case since its inception, since Mr. Markell was murdered, correct?
Yes.
And it's typically in your field best to use records that have more data rather than less, correct?
Generally, yes.
Okay. Have you gone back to determine who called whom first?
I have not, but I could.
And so if I were to tell you that records with seconds reveal that Donna Adelson gets a call from Geek Squad and immediately calls her daughter, and then while Donna is calling her daughter, Geek Squad calls her daughter, would that also be consistent with both calls happening at 8:09?
Yes.
And by using the records with more information, you would be able to present this in an accurate order, would you not?
They both indicate the time of 8:09 for the calls, and as discussed or as presented, hopefully, that there was a phone tag that occurred here at 8:09. And so that, yes.
I believe you had moved to slide 210. Now this is after the text message exchange between Wendy Adelson and Dan Markell, correct?
Correct.
And that's the one where after Mr. Markell had left a voicemail for Wendy, Wendy texts him and saying, "Swimming won't work today because I'm picking the kids up at 3:30."
Correct.
And then they kind of have a disagreement about the time that Wendy can pick the boys up.
They do.
After Wendy gets that information from Mr. Markel, she then calls her brother.
Correct?
She didn't call her mother.
No.
Now, I believe after this call between Wendy and Charlie, I think it's on slide 213, he tries to call Donna.
Correct.
30 seconds, that indicates to you that the call did not connect.
More than likely.
I believe, you go to slide 272. May have gotten the slide wrong. If you can back up a couple of slides, please. Okay. So the text, I believe that the state inadvertently mischaracterized the evidence and testimony in the questioning. The last connection to a cell tower for Donna Adelson was at 8:59, not 8:35, correct?
For 8:59, for location, like location that we would use?
Yes.
I don't recall an 8:59 event.
Okay. I'm sorry. So you have the 8:59 as the text message,
That's correct.
and that's from Charlie Adelson's iCloud,
That is correct.
and you don't get location from that.
We do not. And so, probably important to point out, some of these are chats, so they're actually occurring over the data network. They're iMessage versus carrier-based text messaging, where we're more likely to see locations associated with text. So with the iCloud, and knowing that those are traversing the iMessage or the Apple network, it's common for us not to have locations attached to those.
So in that regard, iMessages aren't going to show up in call detail records.
They do not.
Other apps, communication apps, are not going to show up in call detail records.
That's correct.
Now this tragedy took place a little over 11 years ago, correct?
Yes.
And up until your July 10th, 2025 deposition, you had not done the drive yourself, had you?
That's correct.
Did you do any research to determine what construction had taken place at I-95 between July 18th of 2014 and July 18th of 2025?
I-95 where?
Where you drove?
Not the, I know that there was a number of changes to I-95 at the area where it separates from the turnpike, the Florida Turnpike. I did specifically look at the turnpike in relation to Mr. Adelson's residence to make sure that there had been no changes in the roadway there.
Okay, so the turnpike, it's your testimony that in the last 11 years, the turnpike in that area has not been widened?
I don't recall it has been widened. The off-ramp is in the same location. The aerial photography is exactly the same for that exchange. And again, the drive was done because there was a question raised somewhere along the way about the ability to get off the turnpike and to Mr. Adelson's residence. And so just to clarify that, then that more research was done. And so again, looking at that, there's been a number of changes around that area. Water drainage has been filled in, buildings have been built, all kinds of things have happened, but the roadway itself remains the same.
So again, my question is, has the road been widened? Has there been construction?
There may have been construction and replacement. And I can say with certainty, and I can look at it again, but with certainty, the routes, the off-ramps, the exchanges are in the same position that they are. If the lanes are a little wider, there was no significant change in anything about getting off the turnpike and getting over to Mr. Adelson's road.
Sergeant Corbett, I don't know if I'm asking a poor question or you're misunderstanding. Has there been construction on the turnpike in the last 11 years?
I'm sure there has, yes.
Did you do anything to determine if that had happened?
Yes.
Okay. And yet, you're still giving us a qualified answer.
You're asking about widening. I don't recall seeing, and again, the area that I looked at was the turnpike, the off-ramp of the turnpike, the exchange that goes to the east, and then connects with Mr. Adelson's road. There were no changes to that. If the turnpike was widened somewhere, that may be possible. I did not look for that. Again, I'm looking for the path of travel had not changed.
So you looked for records that would be consistent with the state's theory? To establish that the route hadn't been altered in any way?
The question raised was, can you get off the turnpike and get to Charlie Adelson's residence? And the answer is yes.
Now, what were the traffic conditions on July 18th of 2014?
I do not know.
Did you do anything to try to find that out?
I did.
And what did you do?
I tried to research through Department of Transportation if they had traffic and crash data going back that far, and I did not find any.
Is that because the retention period had been exceeded?
Most likely, yes.
What is a retention period?
I do not know the exact retention period.
No, tell us what is a retention period.
I'm sorry. A retention period would be a policy of a holder of information for how long they hold that. And so carriers have retention periods for their cell phone records. It may be 1 year, and after 1 year they purge that data. Could be 2 years, could be 10 years, but that retention period or is a policy for how long they retain records.
And so, as we sit here today, do you know the retention period for DHS&V to keep accident records?
I do not.
What about construction records for I-95 and the Turnpike?
I do not.
Did you do anything to collect construction records for I-95 or the Turnpike between July 18th of 2014 and the present day?
No.
How many lanes were on 95 between my client's residence in Miami Beach and her son's residence back in 2014?
I do not know the exact number.
What about now?
It varies. There were 6 or more in certain places. There was construction going on when I drove.
What about the Turnpike? How many lanes were on the Turnpike back in 2014?
Again, varies by the location where you're at, but 2 to 3 in any direction.
And what about now?
Same now. I say same now. Depending upon where we're talking about, so I'm looking at a very narrow stretch of the Turnpike. Talk about the Turnpike, it's in entirety. I'm sure it's undergone a lot of changes.
Now, when you did this drive, You had gas in your car, correct?
I did.
You did not have to stop for gas while you're doing this test drive, did you?
During those particular sessions or sections, no, I did not.
You had snacks with you,
I did.
so you didn't have to stop for snacks.
I did not have to.
Did you stop for any meals along the way during this drive test?
During these particular sessions or sections of road travel, no, I did not.
And there's a reason I'm going to ask this question. How old were you at the time you did this test?
55.
So not in your 60s, not in your 70s.
Not quite.
Now, have you ever been on the highway, got behind a slow-moving vehicle? It frustrates you, right?
It may, yes.
And you have an opportunity to pass them, you drive by and you see someone older driving.
Sometimes, yes.
Do you know how fast Harvey and Donna Adelson were driving on July 18th of 2014?
I do not.
And so, not knowing how fast they are driving, can you give an accurate estimate for how long the drive would take them?
I think I can give an accurate estimate based on speed limit and distance, but as far as how which is, I believe, substantiated by segments of travel. So the travel from the 832 point to Charlie Adelson's was very consistent with the estimations. The travel from 1053 to the hotel, consistent with estimations.
Well, I want to stop you right there. The 1053 point, can you pull that up, please?
I believe it's actually here.
Go to the next slide or series where we show 1053 to Orlando. Perfect. That section of the turnpike is not as in an area that is as densely populated as the section to the south, is it?
It's not.
Okay. And so the section south on the turnpike, you're going to get more commuter traffic than you will in this section, correct?
I would agree with that, yes.
And so you're not going to necessarily be in as stop and go traffic as you would if you were to the south.
Usually, yes, I would agree with that.
Now, was anything done, or let me ask this differently. Do you know whether or not at the time Donna and Harvey Adelson left their apartment on Miami Beach to start driving north, had they eaten dinner?
I do not know.
Did they have a full tank of gas?
Do not know.
How many times did they stop to go to the bathroom?
Do not know.
Did they stop to get coffee?
They may have.
This was late night.
I did.
And you're much younger than they were at the time. You stopped for coffee.
I did.
Just a moment, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Sergeant Corbett, you just made a statement that I believe your deposition testimony contradicted. You said the time that it would take to get from their residence to Charlie Adelson's residence. Can you, with the call detail records, place my client, Donna Adelson's handset at Charlie Adelson's residence on July 18th of 2014?
From cell site locations in the records, no.
And at no point on July 18th of 2014 can you place Donna Adelson's handset and or Harvey Adelson's handset connecting to the same cell site at the same time as Charlie Adelson's handset.
That's correct.
So from the call detail records, you cannot testify, you cannot tell this jury that my client was at her son's house.
That's correct.
Nothing further.
Correct.
Yes, sir. Do the text messages place Donna Adelson at Charlie Adelson's house?
I believe the outside your house text message is indicative of her being outside his house.
Okay, that's what Donna Adelson tells us in that text message, right?
I believe so, yes.
And then she has an hour and 6 minutes, was it, of unaccounted for time on the stretch of the drive that's on the same stretch of the drive where Charlie Adelson's house is, right?
Correct.
You got lots of, and did you do this drive in 2025 because the defense questioned the fact that you hadn't done it, didn't know if you could do it in the 2025 depot?
There was a question as to who raised it. I'm not certain.
Okay, thank you. You got lots of questions about construction on the turnpike. Defense asked if their client could have gotten stopped for that extra hour that's unaccounted for in construction. Did Donna Adelson tell us in that text message where she stopped on the drive? Did she say she was outside of Charlie Adelson's house?
Agreed.
Okay, and then Charlie Adelson gave her his estimated time of arrival at the house for 10 minutes from then. Is that
Correct.
right?
Correct.
If the Adelsons were just driving really slow on that first part of the drive where they have over an hour of unaccounted for time, would they then have had to speed up to normal cruising speed for the second part of the drive where they made it from the 1053 location to Orlando in with a consistent amount of time as the estimated time that we see on Esri?
Yes. The second part of that, the second half, if we'll call it, of the trip was done at close to the estimated time. So the speed and travel were close to what would be expected. The first half of that trip, it was not.
Okay. And when you did the drive and went from the I believe was it 832 or 834 location?
Yes, one of those.
One of
Before
those.
before the end of the 835 call.
Okay. 834 location. When you did that drive, were you able to get on the same day of the week, the same time of Friday night, from that point to Charlie Adelson's house in the estimated amount of time?
I was, yes.
Okay. And same with the second part of the drive, from Charlie Adelson's house to the 1053 location. Was that consistent with the estimated time from Esri?
With just a few minutes, yes. Or within just a few minutes.
All right. And you would have been driving in the same conditions in North Miami, same date, same time of day as the Adelsons drove in 2014.
As close as I could get.
And did you say in the emails for the Evite that Donna Adelson told Evite that she entered the invitees as contacts?
Correct.
In the beginning of cross-examination, defense asked you a bit about the things that could affect cell site towers, several variables that could affect cell site towers, but if those variables existed that affected these cell site towers and kept the cell site towers from having too much load to be able to handle this communication, would we see phone communication with those cell site towers in the records as we do?
Again, if the tower was not operational, no, the handset is not going to communicate with it. But those things, again, when we're talking about the inclusion and exclusion, where a handset could be, we're aware that there may be cell sites that are closer, that may be stronger, bigger, taller, and all of that we take into consideration when we estimate the area that might be consistent with where the handset was.
Is there anything in the records that caused you to believe these records or analysis is unreliable in any way?
No.
Just a second. No further questions, thank you.
Sergeant, you may step down, finally.
Thank you, sir.
Will this
Subject to recall.
Very well. Please call your next witness.
Judge, the next witness, based on his former employment, is the witness that we've asked camera not display his face. So I would ask for an instruction on that at this time.
Very well. The witness's face is not to be displayed based on his prior employment in law enforcement. Certainly his voice and audio may be broadcast, but not his face.
Judge, before the witnesses testifies, can we have a brief, very brief recess?
That's fine. Members of the jury, the bailiff will take you to the jury room. You all can be seated. Please use the restroom or stretch your legs now if you need to before we resume with the testimony.
just one moment. For the gallery, once again, just as a reminder, while the testimony is taking place today, if you step outside of the court
this case on April 19th of 2016.
I was.
Can you explain what the operation was?
My role in the operation was that
May I interrupt you for just one moment? Could we approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
So my role in the operation was of a gang member, and what I was instructed to do was to contact and bump Donna Adelson.
What does bump mean?
A bump is a law enforcement operation during which an undercover agent or an undercover police officer would conduct a face-to-face meeting or encounter with a subject or a person of interest in an investigation. And what we look for, the results we look to get would be one or a combination of either I would try to extract, or the undercover would try to extract information, or they would try to pass on information, or possibly set up a future meeting with the individual, or tickle a wire or a telephonic intercept, or tickle a wire.
In this case, was it an attempt to tickle a wire?
Yes, it was.
Okay, so we had a wiretap going at the time that you did the bump.
Yes.
Okay. And what does tickle the wire mean?
Well, when you tickle the wires, when you're doing a Title III, what we call a Title III, a phone intercept, and there's not much activity going on that phone intercept, what you want to do is approach somebody and see if they will start talking about whatever the investigation is looking into.
All right, so you were asked to approach Donna Adelson. Is that what you did?
That is correct.
Where did that happen?
I believe that happened in South Miami, somewhere near her residence.
Okay. And did you just walk up to her on the street, sidewalk?
I did.
Okay. And what did you do?
Well, I was instructed to walk up to her and engage her in small discussion as to why I was meeting with her, and then eventually handing her a flyer.
Okay. Is that what you did?
Yes.
All right. And I'm going to show you the flyer. I've marked as State's Exhibit 83.
Okay.
Is that what you handed Mrs. Adelson?
This is it, yes.
Okay. Judge, I'd ask to introduce State's 83.
Okay. States 83 is admitted.
Okay, so it's a standard 8.5 by 11 sheet paper, right? Regular piece of paper?
Yes,
Okay. With a printout of an article relating to the murder of Dan Markell, is that right?
that is correct.
And at this time, it's been a couple of years since the murder of Mr. Markell.
Yes.
Okay. And over here in handwritten, can you say what was printed there?
Yes, just call and text, and that's my undercover cell phone number and the $5,000 which was being asked for.
Okay, and this cell phone number that it belongs to the phone number that's written here, are you personally going to carry that around and answer it if someone calls it?
That is correct. That's solely in my hands, and I'm the only one answering. Or
Right.
a voicemail would answer.
And is there something you need to do if that occurs? To record the phone call, is that audio recorded?
It was audio and video recorded, yes.
How was it recorded?
I had an audio and video on my person, and I believe the surveillance security team also recorded that.
So we've got one angle that's what you're wearing and another angle from across the street.
That is correct.
Have you had an opportunity to review State's Exhibit 112, a thumb drive containing those two recordings?
Yes, I have.
And are those fair and accurate recordings, both of what you were wearing as well as the one taken from across the street?
Yes, they are.
Moving to evidence, State's 112, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objection.
States 112 is admitted.
I'm showing you State's 117. Are those your initials on 117?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Were there phone calls that were made from or to the phone number on the bump flyer in connection with this investigation?
Yes.
Are those phone calls contained on State's Exhibit 117?
Yes, they are.
Moving to evidence, State's 117, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No objection.
States 117 is admitted.
And State's 117, those are all the phone calls associated with this number on the sheet here. We've got one from you to the Adelson Institute Family Business. Recall that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And then one from Charlie Adelson to this phone number, is that right?
Yes.
And one from Donna Adelson to this phone number, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, and those are all the phone calls. Nobody else called the number during the course of this operation that was answered?
That was
Agree?
answered, yeah. Correct.
Okay, there were a couple missed calls, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
Cross-examination.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
I have a question.
Sure.
When you indicated that you were playing the role of a gang member, what does that mean?
Well, a gang member is anybody that's involved in any type of organization or regarding criminal activity, involved in criminal activity.
Well, I know what a gang member is. I'm asking what were you going to do? What were you trying to portray yourself as? How was your demeanor? How were you going to act as a gang member?
You mean during the bump?
Yes, sir.
I was actually very friendly.
For the bump that was on the street?
Yes.
Okay. Mrs. Adelson told you that you scared her, didn't she?
I think she was startled. I mean, I'm not good looking, so maybe that scared her,
Were you dressed up all pretty like you are today?
but no, ma'am.
How were you dressed?
Just jeans and t-shirt and open, I believe, like a bluish button-down open.
Okay. When you say you were friendly to her, was that what you said? You were friendly to her?
I was told to be very polite to her.
And were you?
I was.
Did you invite her out to lunch?
No, not exactly.
Okay. The area that you met her at, how was that selected?
That I don't have the specifics. Special Agent Pat Sanford would be better to answer that.
Were you aware when you went out there that where you would run into her at that specific time of day? I mean, you just didn't stand there all day waiting for her, right?
I did not.
Okay. You knew a specific time in general that you thought you would see her there, correct?
The investigative team, I'm sure, did their homework and they knew. So
Okay. Are you aware that that's the route that she took from where she was living down the block to pick up her grandchildren from school?
I was made aware of that, yes.
Thank you. Now, in the bump, with the flyer that you handed to Miss Adelson, you had some information on there, $5,000. And when you spoke to her, what did you say to her?
Well, when I engaged her, to the best of my recollection, I said to her that we know that their problem up north had been taken care of, and that Katie and Tuto are being taken care of, and my brother Tato has not been taken care of. He and his family have not been taken care of, and that they should take care of him and his family, something to that effect, him and his family, like they are taking care of Katie and Tuto.
And who's Tuto?
Tuto, from what I understand, was Sigfredo Garcia.
And who was Tato?
Tato was Luis Rivera.
You have a really interesting accent.
Yeah, that's because I'm fluent in Spanish. Yes.
Okay. Are you of Spanish descent, or you just have learned that?
I am.
You are? Okay. Thank you. You do it very well.
Thank you.
So you tell her that you know that her family is taking care of Tuto and Katie, but not your brother Tato.
Correct.
And Tato is Luis Rivera,
Correct.
and he was incarcerated at that time.
Correct.
And you told her that in the Broward County Jail, the two of you have been together, right?
I don't believe on the bump I said that.
Okay. And you tell her that you need $5,000 to take care of Tato, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And she told you she didn't know what you were talking about.
Well, during the bump, I didn't mention the 5,000 or anything. I didn't mention the money during the bump.
The piece of paper said $5,000.
Well, the paper did, but verbally I didn't say it to her.
You said they needed to take care of Tato.
Yes, but I didn't say the dollar amount.
But you handed her a piece of paper
I
and it
did.
had it on there, correct?
Sure.
Okay.
Mhm.
She didn't pay you the $5,000, did she?
I don't believe they ever did.
Okay, and that was on April the 19th of 2016, correct?
I believe so.
Okay. So that's the 19th. As of the 23rd, you still had not heard from Mrs. Adelson, and so you sent her a letter, did you not?
That letter I did not physically do it. That was the investigative team that wrote and sent that letter.
Were you aware of it?
At the time I wasn't.
Did you become aware of it?
Later on, yes.
Okay. And the gist of it was nobody had heard back from her, correct?
I don't remember reading that letter.
So, but you're aware the letter was sent, right?
Later on, yes.
Okay. And then move forward all the way up to April the 28th of 2016. Mrs. Adelson has not called you back, correct?
I don't remember the dates that, accurately. I don't remember.
Okay. Well, there's a phone call that's been introduced into evidence, so.
Well, yeah, but you're asking me before that. I guess on the 28th I received a call.
Well, on the 28th, you actually called the Adelson Institute,
Yes,
didn't you?
I did call.
Okay.
Yes.
So you were the first call then. You
Yes,
called the Adelson Institute.
Correct.
And
correct.
you were trying to reach Donna Adelson.
That is correct.
But she was not there.
Correct.
So you left a message saying, you're Sammy, and you haven't heard back from her, and let her know I called.
That is correct.
Okay. But she doesn't call you back right then, does she?
No, she did not.
And she didn't pay you the $5,000 you were looking for, correct?
Did not.
Okay. And so you called the Adel Institute and get no response. So then May the 4th of 2016, you sent a text to Donna Adelson at 2:09 in the morning, correct?
That is correct.
And on that text, you said, still have not heard from Donna. Wait a minute. No, I'm sorry. So you don't take me serious. You think I'm playing. You have some puta?
I think Puto.
Puto, call me to see if I'm for real. If you think what KD baby daddy did for you can't come back, you're, excuse my language, fucking crazy. I want the, and then it doesn't say now, or I'm going after the 100K. Right?
That's what I was told to write, yes.
Wasn't very polite there, was it?
Well, that's usually how somebody that's blackmailing somebody or extorting somebody in the criminal world would probably talk to somebody, yes.
Sure, it's more aggressive, right?
Absolutely.
Because you want her to incriminate herself by talking to you, pay the $5,000. You're looking for her to talk, right?
I'm just looking for her to send the money.
But she didn't send the money, did she?
She did not.
Okay. And then you got a call on, let's see, that was May the 4th. You still don't hear from Donna. But on May the 6th, no. May the 4th, you get a call from Charlie Adelson,
That is correct.
and you talked to him,
I did.
right? And that recording is in evidence, so we don't need to talk about that. But basically, you don't get anywhere with Charlie. He doesn't offer to pay you the $5,000, right?
No, he,
And
Did he offer to pay you the $5,000?
no, he did not.
Okay, thank you. And then finally, on May the 6th, Donna Adelson calls you back on that number that you had put on the paper, correct?
That is correct.
And we're going to listen to the call for another witness, but the gist of it is she's telling you, you tell her you know everything about everybody involved, right?
Correct.
And she tells you, you got the wrong person, I'm not involved, correct?
She did.
And she tells you, if you know everybody who is involved, go to the police, right?
She just said, go get the money from, but she didn't say, if I know everybody. She just said, I believe she said, just go collect the money.
Well, we'll play it so we'll know the exact
Okay,
words. But
that's fine.
she didn't offer to give you the $5,000 then.
No.
And she encouraged you to go get the $100,000, which was the reward at that time for
She did.
providing information regarding the homicide of Dan Markell.
She did.
take your time.
Thank you so much, sir. Have a good day. I'm done with my questions.
Redirect examination.
Sir, we're going to watch the video a little later with another witness, but did Donna Adelson have any children with her when you approached her?
She did not.
Okay, nothing further.
You may step down. Will the witness be recalled at all?
No, sir.
You are released. Have a good day.
Keep them under the state subpoena so that we can call in our case in chief. Please.
Very well. The defense may call you as a witness. They will let you know if they choose to do so or not. Have a good day.
My understanding is that we're to coordinate that through Investigator Newman at the State Attorney's Office.
Yes.
So we'll keep you informed.
Please call your next witness.
State calls Special Agent Bronstein.
Please raise your right hand to be sworn, Special Agent. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
I do.
You may take your seat. Please speak loudly and clearly. You can adjust the microphone if you need to. You may examine when you're ready.
Please say your name and spell your name.
Special Agent Louis Bronstein, Louis Bronstein.
How are you employed?
I'm a special agent with the FBI.
How were you employed back in April of 2016?
Special agent with the FBI.
All right, and did you participate in a surveillance operation on April 20th of that year involving Charlie Adelson?
Yes.
Was your involvement in that operation related to a wiretap that was happening simultaneous with the surveillance operation?
Yes.
What was your role in the operation?
That day I started off on physical surveillance of the Undercover bump operation for officer safety purposes. And then for the remainder of the day I was to be available for surveillance as needed.
Did you conduct some surveillance at a restaurant by the name of Dolce Vita in Miami?
Yes.
Where is that restaurant located?
North of Miami Beach. I don't remember the exact intersection.
Sunny Isles Beach, sound right?
Yes.
Are you from, I guess you said you did surveil the bump that took place earlier, right?
Yes.
Okay. And what was your objective at the Dolce Vita restaurant?
Moved towards the Dolce Vita restaurant with the intent of conducting physical and technical surveillance of the meeting inside. Upon arrival in the parking lot, I met up with a technical agent from the FBI and received surveillance equipment in a bag. And I made my way into the restaurant and got situated as close as I could to Charlie and Katie.
Were some photographs taken of, is it Charlie Adelson you're referencing and Katie Catherine Magbanua?
Yes.
Were some photographs taken of them outside the restaurant?
I believe so.
Okay, was that before or after the meeting that you're referencing?
I don't know that I can speak to that. I was not doing photography at the time.
All right, let me just show you what I've marked as State's Exhibit 137 to 140. Are you able to recognize these exhibits as photos of those two that were taken outside the restaurant where you did your surveillance on the occasion we're talking about?
Yes.
So I'm going to make sure they're all fair and accurate.
Yes.
Okay. Judge, at this time I'd ask to move into evidence 137 through 140.
Any objection?
No objection.
States 137 through 140 are admitted.
Publishing 137. Publishing 138. Publishing 139. Publishing 140. When you entered the restaurant, how close to the target subjects were you able to position yourself?
Let's say about 10 to 12 feet.
Okay, so just at the next table.
So, yeah, I want to say it would be the next table over, but there was possibly a span where there should have been a table, so just estimating, based off recollection, it would be about 12 feet.
All right, and did the bag contain any video equipment?
I believe so.
All right, so you were recording both video and audio of this restaurant conversation?
Yes.
Are you familiar with the equipment that was inside the bag there?
I had not seen it before that day. That was my first look at it.
Did
But I
you
can-
understand how to operate it when you went into the restaurant to use it?
Yes.
Okay, so you were able to successfully capture that restaurant conversation with
That's
that
correct.
equipment? Okay. Can you describe anything about their demeanor that you observed during this conversation?
It was tough to hear because of the air conditioning system. Based on visual observation, body language, they were having a conversation with each other. They were paying attention to what each other was saying. I could not make out very many particular words, except there was a moment where the AC was abnormally quiet for the restaurant. I did hear something, but it was a very small snippet of a sentence. They maintained their conversation with each other, and throughout the duration of my sitting in there, I became less and less worried that they would notice me sitting nearby because they were paying very close attention to what each other was saying.
Okay. And have you had an opportunity to review the recordings of the that came out of the operation from that day?
Yes.
Okay, and are they fair and accurate recordings?
Yes.
Right. And I asked you the date, April 20th of 16, but I didn't ask you the time. Do you know the time that meeting occurred, time of day?
Afternoon around 3:45 or 4.
And I asked you if you had an opportunity to review it, State's Exhibit 114. Judge, at this time, I'd ask to move 114 into evidence.
Any objection? States 114 is admitted.
Any efforts to clarify the audio from that recording and try to take out some of that background noise, would that have anything to do with you, or would that be somebody else's job?
That's somebody else's work.
All right, no further questions, Your Honor.
Cross-examination.
No questions.
You may step down. Will he be recalled by either party?
No, Your Honor. No, Your Honor.
You are released. Please call your next witness.
State calls Keith McElveen.
Please raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
I do.
You may take your seat. Please speak loudly and clearly.
Sir, please introduce yourself and spell your name.
James Keith McElveen, M-C-E-L-V-E-E-N.
How are you employed?
I work as a forensic scientist. I'm an electrical engineer. I work at Wave Sciences in Charleston, South Carolina.
And what type of work do you perform at that business?
I mostly do audio research, particularly in forensics.
Can you describe your education and experience in that field?
I am a master's level engineer, electrical engineer, and I've had 35 going on 40 years of experience.
And as part of your work, do you clarify audio recordings?
I do. I also sit on committees that write international standards for audio forensics.
And approximately how long have you been doing the type of work that you did in this case specifically?
Probably about 25 to 30 years now.
Judge, at this time, I would tender the witness as an expert in the field of electrical engineering,
Electrical engineering and forensics. Audio
electrical
forensics.
engineering and audio forensics, Your Honor.
Does the defense wish to voir dire the witness?
Not on these topics.
Any objection to him providing an opinion while testifying?
No, Your Honor.
Members of the jury, the witness will be permitted to testify in the form of an opinion in the fields of electrical engineering and audio forensics. You may continue.
And I think you testified you have a master's in electrical engineering, is that right?
That's correct.
And you were the program manager for a government organization that included tech ops work?
Yes.
Okay, and also have done some work with private companies doing government contract type of work, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Did you found the company that you're currently with?
I did.
Have you published articles related to your field?
Yes, I have. Multiple.
Have you ever testified as an expert before in this area?
I have.
Okay. Were you asked to clarify some recordings made at the Dolce Vita restaurant in association with this case?
Yes, I was.
What items were you provided with?
2 audio video recordings from 2 different devices that were in the restaurant, one of which had better video and one of which had better audio.
Okay. And were you able to put those together and give us the best product that you know how to give us to help us make out the words the best we can?
Yes.
All right. And in that process, do you do anything that changes or alters the speaking voices that are on the audio recording?
Only how do I put this? We don't alter the subject's voice. We leave it natural and as untouched as possible. What we do is suppress everything else that's not in that place we're trying to focus on.
What were the issues with this particular exhibit as far as being able to hear it in its raw form?
Well, it was a restaurant and a busy restaurant. There was everything from typical restaurant noises with coffee grinders and espresso machines and such as that going on. The position of the recording devices also made them pick up noises coming from the kitchen. So there was dishwasher and vegetable chopping type sounds going on back there, kids screaming, voices playing in a television. So it's easier probably to list what wasn't on the recording than what was.
Okay. And can you explain the process you used to clarify the audio on this exhibit?
Yes. So what we do is we treat the sound that's captured on the recording more like it's the light captured by a camera. So if you do any photography and you use a lens, you may think of the kind of the classic taking a picture down a picket fence, and you can focus on one of the wooden slats in the fence and it's sharp, but all the rest of them in the foreground and the background are blurred out and maybe invisible. So that's our approach, and we're able to set the focus spot on the subjects that we were asked to enhance, and then blur out, like those missing pickets in the fence, everything else in the restaurant.
Okay. And are the results of your audio efforts contained on the exhibit in front of you, State's Exhibit 115?
Yes.
All right. And did you also, for us, pair the audio with the video that was available of that particular event?
In Dolce Vita, we did not.
Okay. Have you had an opportunity to review State's Exhibit 116, which does include both the audio, the video, and the transcript of that event?
Yes, although we did not review the transcript content.
Okay.
We did review the audio and the video, and it does match the enhanced audio that we provided.
Okay. So everything seems to be appropriately lined up with the audio clarification that you did.
Yes, I just don't want to step outside my role as in audio forensics and speak to a transcript.
Understood. All right, Judge, at this time I'd ask to move into evidence states 115 and 116.
Any objection?
If I understand the witness's testimony, he's not able to say the transcript is accurate?
That was Ms. McBaniel's part, Your Honor.
She is already authenticated as a part of her testimony.
No objection, Your Honor.
States 115 and 116 are admitted.
Did you also do some work on State's Exhibit 132, a recording from a Matt Surrey restaurant?
I did.
All right, and were the same processes that you previously described with the prior exhibit used on this one as well?
They were.
Okay, and does State's Exhibit 132 contain the audio product that you generated?
Yes.
Okay, and has the audio been paired with the video accurately in State's Exhibit 133 also in front of you?
Yes.
All right, Judge, at this time I'd ask to move into evidence States 132 and 133.
Any objection?
Just a moment, Your Honor. No objection, Your Honor.
States 132 and 133 are admitted.
All right, and then you also have an Exhibit 118 in front of you. Did you do some work on a phone call? Phone call?
Yes.
Okay. And is the work that you did on clarifying that phone call fairly and accurately contained on State's Exhibit 118?
Yes, it is.
All right, Judge, that's just for identification only at this time. No further questions.
Very well. Cross-examination.
Just briefly, Your Honor. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Okay, with respect to the second restaurant footage that you enhanced, am I to understand that you enhanced an enhancement more recently? Did you provide additional materials recently to the State Attorney's Office?
What we did was not an enhancement. We only took the audio track and put it with the video track. So
That's what you-
we didn't touch anything but just basically save the processed audio that we did and the original video and just saved it in a different format.
Okay, so then that's what you did recently?
Yes.
Okay.
So no enhancement done in that step.
Okay. And then, yes, were you ever provided with the audio of the interview done by law enforcement of Wendy Adelson on July 18th of 2014?
No, I was not.
And specifically the end of that interview when Miss Wendy Adelson calls my client.
Not to my recollection. I do not believe so.
And so the government did not ask you to do that?
Correct.
Just a moment. Nothing further, Your Honor?
Redirect examination.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
You may step down, sir. Will we be recalled by either party?
Not from the State, Judge.
No, Your Honor.
You are released. Have a good day. Please call your next witness.
They call Special Agent Brian Kendall.
Please raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
Yes, sir.
You may take your seat.
Thank you.
Please speak loudly and clearly.
Sir, please introduce yourself and spell your name.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Brian Kendall, Brian Kendall.
How are you employed, sir?
I'm currently employed at a private investment firm.
What about back in April of 2016?
At that time, I worked as a police officer for the city of Plantation, and I was also assigned to a federal task force.
As part of your work with the federal task force, did you participate in a surveillance operation involving a Charlie Adelson?
Yes, I did.
All right. Was the surveillance that you conducted of Mr. Adelson related to a wiretap that was happening simultaneously with your part in the investigation?
That's correct.
What is it that you were asked to do?
I was asked to surreptitiously record Mr. Adelson at a restaurant on the night, I believe it was April 20th, 2016.
How about April 21st?
21st, correct.
Okay, and who was Mr. Adelson meeting with at that restaurant?
His father, Mr. Harvey Adelson.
All right, and was that the Matsuri restaurant?
Yes, a sushi restaurant in Miami.
What equipment was used when you went in to record?
I had a covert surveillance recording device that recorded in audio and video.
How covert was it?
It wasn't the most sophisticated device. Would you like me to describe it?
Yes, please.
Okay. It almost looked like what they call now a man bag, or a large bag that had a hidden recorder and video equipment inside of it.
And was there any sort of strategic problem with using that sort of messenger-style bag under the circumstances inside this particular restaurant?
Yeah, so when I entered the restaurant, I saw Mr. Charles Adelson and Mr. Harvey Adelson sitting at the sushi bar. There was an unoccupied stool next to Mr. Harvey Adelson, so I took a position directly next to Mr. Harvey Adelson because it was extremely loud in the restaurant. I put the bag directly on the sushi bar between myself and Mr. Harvey Adelson.
Okay. And what does it mean to get made?
Obviously, when you get made, they identify who you are and they know you're up to, maybe they identify that you're law enforcement or they know what you're doing.
And do you think that might have happened on this effort?
I think it was pretty obvious that my actions were probably a little suspicious to them, correct?
Have you had an opportunity to review the recording from your messenger bag device, State's Exhibit 131?
Yes.
And is that a fair and accurate recording of what was captured from your device that day?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And as far as clarification of any audio that was present on that recording device, would you be responsible for that, or was that Mr. McElveen that we just heard from?
Yes, I never even, other than authenticating it, I'd never reviewed it.
All right, move into evidence, States 131, Your Honor.
An objection.
No objection.
States 131 is admitted.
No further questions, Judge.
Cross-examination.
No questions.
You may step down. Will this witness be recalled by either party?
No, Your Honor.
You are released, sir.
Thank you.
Please approach.
Special Agent Pat Sanford.
Raise your right hand and be sworn. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
I do.
You may take your seat.
Thank you.
Please speak loudly and clearly.
Yes, sir.
Sir, please introduce yourself and spell your name.
My name is Patrick Sanford, S-A-N-F-O-R-D. I'm a special agent with the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
How long have you been employed with the FBI?
Approximately 26 years.
Sorry, one moment. Were you asked to assist in the investigation of the murder of Dan Markell?
Yes, I was.
How did you get involved in that investigation?
I was called originally to assist with outside leads on the case. There were some interviews and some other follow-up things that happened outside the state of Florida that they asked me to assist with. And as the investigation continued, I became more and more involved.
The other guy retired and kind of left you holding the bag, right?
He did.
Okay. Are you familiar with Luis Rivera and his role in this case?
I am.
Were you a part of the initial interview of Luis Rivera when he was attempting to become a witness in the case?
Yes, I was.
And do you know the date on which his proffer was given?
I could refer to some notes.
Okay, if I said the date, would you be able to tell me if it sounds
I would.
right or not? September 30th of 2016?
Yes.
All right, and the investigation had been ongoing for some time at that point, right? I mean, the murder occurred in 14.
That's correct.
Okay, and in the proffer that was given by Luis Rivera, was there anything new, particularly interested in anything new that you were able to corroborate that law enforcement didn't already know before that interview?
Yes, there was.
What was that?
One thing was he told us the day before the homicide occurred that him and Sigfredo Garcia were riding around in the green Prius in Tallahassee when Mr. Garcia accidentally shot a hole in the floorboard of the Prius, and it actually disabled the vehicle, and Mr. Garcia had to actually fix the vehicle to get it running again.
At the time that you conducted the interview of Rivera, you knew that they had rented the Prius, right?
That's correct.
Law enforcement had already traveled to the location in Miami where the Prius was rented and identified the car and the VIN number and all those things, right?
That's correct. I'd been down there and done all that.
Okay, but we didn't know to look for this hole in the floorboard.
No, there was carpet in the floorboard and you couldn't see it.
Okay. Did law enforcement, in an attempt to corroborate this new fact, go back to locate the vehicle again and see if there was in fact any evidence of what Rivera was describing?
We did.
Okay, I'm going to approach and show you what I've marked as 48 through 52. Do you recognize these exhibits?
I do.
Are these fair and accurate photos of the vehicle once you found it for this second time after Rivera's interview?
Yes, they are.
Judge, at this time, I'd ask to move into evidence states 48 through 52.
An objection?
No objection.
They are admitted.
May I publish?
You may.
Publishing states 48. Had the vehicle changed hands by this time?
Yes, it had been sold by the rental company.
And had it been repainted?
It had.
Were you still able to see at some of the seams of the vehicle where that silver pine mica color, you could still kind of tell was the previous color?
That's correct. Like in the door jambs and under the hood, there was some clues of that.
All right, State's Exhibit 49, were you able to confirm this was in fact the correct vehicle by the VIN number?
That's correct.
State's Exhibit 50, what does this image show?
It shows the passenger side of the vehicle. It has a directional rod put through where the bullet hole traveled. It shows the direction of travel.
So the hole was still there under the carpeting?
The hole was still there in the carpet, correct.
Publishing States 51. Did the hole actually puncture the gas line as Rivera described?
That's correct. That is the fuel line that you see there with a with some kind of mechanical piece attached to it to put it back together to make it run again.
State's Exhibit 52.
And there it is again, just a close up.
Stinks. I don't know if I can make it any better. Old-fashioned way. So this little piece that's attached to the gas line is the repair that was done on it.
That's correct. You can see where the bullet would have severed the line, and it took that piece to connect it back together.
Anything else that Rivera told you that you didn't already know?
Yes, he told us about that the homicide had to take place on the day that it occurred because he was traveling out of, Mr. Markell was going to be traveling out of town the following day.
And were you able to confirm that Mr. Markell did in fact have plans to travel out of town the day after he was killed?
He did. He was planning to go to a conference up in, I believe it was New Jersey.
Okay. And Mr. Rivera's proffer also enlightened us to the June trip, right? That there was a second trip that preceded the July trip in which Mr. Markell was killed.
That's correct. He talked about the June trips also.
And were we able to corroborate that through the testimony of Sergeant Corbett that we just heard from?
That's correct. We had several instances that were able to corroborate that.
All right. Are you familiar?
Speak up, please. We're having trouble.
You can just speak up a little bit louder, Special Agent.
Yes, sir.
Are you familiar with the wiretap that was conducted back in 2016 in reference to this case?
I am.
Whose phones were tapped?
It was Charlie Adelson and Catherine McBanwell.
How many cell phone calls were intercepted total as a part of that wiretap?
Well over 10,000 calls and text messages.
All right. And did you review a disc of the calls that have been deemed relevant for this jury's consideration?
I did.
Okay. And are all of those calls contained on that I guess this thumb drive actually, State's Exhibit 99, are those fair and accurate recordings of the calls that we intercepted in this case?
They are.
All right, Judge, I'd ask to introduce State's 99.
Any objection?
Objection.
State's 99 is admitted.
Permission to publish by way of demonstrative B, Your Honor.
You may.
B as in boy. Did you find any evidence in the calls relating to Donna Adelson meddling in her children's lives?
We did.
Okay, and I want to ask you about specifically Wendy's life and her purchase of a house. Are you familiar with the fact that Wendy Adelson had a contract to purchase a house in 2013 here in Tallahassee?
Yes, I am.
All right, and that she pulled the plug on that house on Halloween of 2013. You familiar with that?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And are you familiar with the evidence that Catherine McBanwell gave regarding being approached on that same day by Charlie Adelson about what ultimately became this murder for hire?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And have you reviewed let's strike that. I'll come back to it. I also wanted to ask you about meddling in reference to Wendy's dating life. Did you hear anything about that on the calls?
I did.
Okay, and specifically, I think this one's called 989. What's the gist of what is on that call?
Mrs. Adelson's talking to Charlie Adelson, and they're discussing Wendy's current boyfriend, which is his name is Dave, and talking about different ways to keep her dating Dave and keeping her from breaking up with him.
All right, and is Donna Adelson enlisting Charlie's help in dealing with Wendy?
That's correct.
All right, managing Wendy.
Correct.
All right. Permission to publish at this time, call 989, Your Honor.
You may proceed.
And if we could start at 8 minutes and 56 seconds or thereabouts. We have no power, so we're requesting a recess.
Members of the jury will take a brief break. The bailiff will escort you to the jury room. Everyone can be seated. So for all of our advanced equipment, we need the repairman.
Court is back in session.
Jurors ready? Please move up. Stand standing for the jurors.
It's a copy of 85 on your table there.
All right.
Jury entering courtroom.
Everyone can be seated. You may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Sorry about that. Agent Sanford, in front of you is a copy of State's Exhibit 85, the wire call summary. Can you tell us what is contained in that exhibit?
It's a list of calls that we selected, calls in a couple of text messages, in a little bit of a timeline, and mostly chronological order.
The dates that the calls were made and who they're to and from, that sort of thing?
That's correct. It
And
just
does
has,
fairly and accurately depict the identifying information for the calls contained in State's Exhibit 99?
that's correct.
All right, Judge, at this time, I would ask to move into evidence State's Exhibit 85.
Any objection? State's 85 is entered.
May I have permission to provide copies to the jurors, Your Honor?
You may.
Madam Court Reporter, would it assist you to have a copy of the summary? All right, we were about to listen to call 989. Judge, we're going to advance the call to 8 minutes and 56 seconds, but I thought we'd start just at the beginning to give the jurors an opportunity to put on their headsets. We provided headsets for each juror with a number, and there's an accompanying volume control in the front here, so my suggestion is just to let everybody tinker with it and get settled, and then we'll move the
That's
call
fine.
along.
For that, use your notepad still. I believe there'll be one copy that goes back later, but use your notepads.
All right, start publishing. Let's look.
I think they're testing their audio using the headsets.
Sir? She's right?
What's? I don't know if I'll wear them for all of it, but just to make sure I can hear it properly. Properly, so you can clearly hear. I think that might be your copy because that's his. Yeah. You aren't going to be left in the dark.
Hey, how are you? I'm good. How are you? Good. Just got off of work. Oh boy. I had some barbecue up in Jupiter. That's why I just wanted to avoid traffic.
Oh, okay. So you're done for the week? You're not working tomorrow, are you?
I actually am looking tomorrow. Oh, I know. And then I was off Monday.
Yeah, oh, that's good. That's right.
That's fine, I don't
Very
care.
good.
Yeah,
Just trying to earn a living.
Tinker?
yeah, I know.
Okay, let's go to 8
Yeah,
minutes
that's
and
two
56
guys
seconds.
that I need to-
Because I'm in that demographic of guy that wants to date.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem telling her, like, you could have told her secret model probably at 37. I'm not asking for her to be. No.
So it's how unusual a guy he is.
Of course.
And people see, and especially
I have done
I know,
what to be on,
I know him.
and I will continue to talk to her. But there's a limit there's a point at which someone purposely will do what you're asking them to purposely do the opposite.
And she's going to screw her life because they're infinitely another day. They're infinitely another day.
What's that?
There's not going to be another
No.
day.
No. The reason why is I'll never tell someone you can't win the lottery twice. But I can tell you this, the probability is not in your favor. Probability is not in your favor of winning the lottery once. Winning it twice, even more. And that's how I talk to her. Because what happens is
If that's what she needs to do, she's to
you
do it.
understand when I don't ever offend her because I don't talk about her. I just say, Wendy, listen, if you put a 37-year-old Victoria's Secret model in front of me, I wouldn't want to get serious with her. Why? When I could do it with a 25-year-old. I said a 25-year-old is going to be 18 in 15 years. I go, you want to buy a car with high mileage or low mileage? I go, listen, Wendy, you don't want to date a guy that's 50. You know why? Because he's too old for you. And he's going to be 60 in 10 years, and 10 years from now, you don't want to see yourself as a 60-year-old. I get it. So it is what it is.
But you can definitely ask her why she's not going out with David because she was there with this lady feeling your head.
I know.
But it opens it for you.
Of course. But just hear me out. I can talk to Wendy differently than anyone can. But even when I do, I don't reference it as saying, Wendy, in a million years I wouldn't date a girl like you with 2 kids. Because it's true, in a million years I would. What I would say is, Wendy, the Victoria's Secret model, I wouldn't have you set me up with if she was 37. And that's just, it's a double standard, but that's life. And she knows about double standards in life. It is what it is. So, all I can say is, like, when I talk to her and I put it in those terms, she gets it. She gets it. But, obviously it doesn't help that she's got these fucking friends.
I know.
Tell her that you deserve the Superman with some guy who's a doctor who's single, who's just dying to take over the responsibility of 2 kids who aren't his. Like, there's tons of very wealthy, successful, young, good-looking guys wanting to date her because nothing's more fun than having a 6-year-old fart in your face while you're trying to talk to your girlfriend when you get home from work. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Only someone like him who's got the ability to know what it's like, could understand it, and doesn't bother them.
Yeah, and it's not only that. Let me give you an example. Ted Berman. You were a little fucking odd, had that crazy mom lived on the other street. The lawyer.
No, of course.
Okay. Ted Berman got divorced from his wife. He's engaged now. I told you about that, right?
Yeah,
So, yeah, he took a whole bunch of people. He took, Warren Sapp, football player. Yeah, he took Warren Sapp, Javon First, a whole bunch of his friends, like paid for everybody for like 20 people to go for the weekend to Atlanta. So we'll go there and spend like $50,000. So his wife ended up sleeping with Javon First.
Nice.
So anyway, so he's engaged now to a girl that he's known forever. Okay. He has 3. I'm in that age group. I don't know.
I had her pause it for a moment to explain that beeping noise that we just heard. What is that noise?
That's the sound that it makes when the officer who's monitoring the call, he minimizes it. So
Okay,
he'll
so
hit a
we're
button, it stops it, it makes that noise, and then when he presses it again to monitor again, it picks right back up on that same spot, basically.
All right, but we're gonna sort of
But it
pop
jump-
in and out of the conversation when we hear that noise.
Exactly. There's not a big pause in between. You'll hear the noise, and then the conversation will pick back up.
All right, and am I correct that the people that are being intercepted do not hear the noise, the beeping?
That's correct. They
The
do
idea.
not.
Okay. All right, let's play a little more.
One. And I'm wondering if two, that one. I mean, yes, your kids are a blessing to you, they're really more than somebody else.
Yeah, that's right.
But, I mean, listen, do I look like the kind of guy that wants to go home from work and talk to my 37-year-old girlfriend while her kid farts in my face? No, they're my nephews, I love them. But as far as dating someone, hell no. I want to go ahead and tell my girlfriend, listen, let's go away for the weekend. What time can you get off next Friday? Okay, I don't want to go like, oh, we got to deal with, can we get the in-laws to watch them, what their schedule will look like? It's not just Wendy, it's Wendy and the three boys. It's three people you're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't, and you can, trust me, I know what to say. I mean, and I listen, and a part of me's next because, you know what, someone gets handed a golden opportunity.
But that, you know what? That's what she has to hear. Sometimes you get the gold ring, and I don't know if she's got her hints or something on that.
Because she has everyone telling her that she's such a great catch, and she is. But they're not, but guess what?
They're not living her life.
They're not living her life, and they're not breaking it down and saying who's, and listen, the guy who may treat her really well just may never really bond with the kid. Like, there's so many aspects to it. So, you can be a great guy, just doesn't really want to do anything with your kids. What are you going to do? Kick him out too?
This guy not only was crazy about her, but
yeah.
Crazy about his beliefs. And he treats her, and that's what.
That's why. Not because the truth is, she can meet a great guy. Those aren't his boys. And she just doesn't like him. What does she do? Get rid of him? He may treat her well, but he's like okay with the kids.
Tolerate the kids. We'll put up with them.
I put up with them, whatever. And then what if they're real nice to the boys on day one, but 3 years down the road, he's pretty much had enough of them. But right now, they're going through a tough time. I mean, I'm just saying.
I don't need to know that she's been given an opportunity that she most likely will never happen again.
No,
she's it away. She's not only throwing it away for herself, she's throwing it away for these kids that deserve it, Dad.
But you don't understand, you could never say that to her. Well, you can, it was the same girl.
Yeah, I know.
You can say anything you want, it's America. I can tell you the end of the company. You can tell me the beginning,
if I should say it. If you weren't here, that's what I would do. I would try.
You fuck it up good. Yeah, you fuck it up good. I tried. You would get 30 seconds into your planned speech before she told you to butt out of her life. And rightfully so, it's her life. She can tell you whatever she wants. But the difference is that I can talk to her differently than you can.
I know. Charlie, believe me, and I'm grateful that you do. I really. You know that. You know that.
Trust me, I know. I mean, listen, she's doing great with that, considering everything she's been through. I would just like.
You know what? She's your sister. She loves you. She's a good sister, and you're an amazing brother. And I'm just grateful that the two of you have each other. I really am.
Well, I am too, but I can tell you.
Really am. And I appreciate what you do because
I go.
Who else is going to do it? Who else is going to say, "Hey, wake up"? This is not as a perfect opportunity. It's glad to be good. Thank God.
Listen, most people don't ever get an opportunity like this to begin with. Like the new thing, to begin with.
I'm shocked that you don't.
Because the truth, and that's what I can listen on.
When and after another minute, the unit is going like, wake up.
Trust me, a bump is believe. Let me say this much to you. As much as you feel like knocking her over the head, I feel like punching her and then knocking her over the head.
Sure.
So trust me on this. So what I'm telling you is that I'll talk to her and I will do my best, my best is very good. And you gotta understand, the way I'll tell her too is like, Wendy, she loves Jess. I think Jess is awesome. Jess will be a great friend to me. And I talk to Jess all the time. Wendy, I wouldn't leave Jess in a million years because she's 37 and she has no kids.
She's no kid, and Jess still wants children.
Absolutely. I said, but she has to, I go, what? So it's like you winning the lotto and saying, I'll never win the lotto again. That's not true. You still have a 1 in 14 million chance. That's like, I'm not going to take that from you. You can get out there and buy another ticket and win the lotto again. It's highly unlikely. So, and it's highly.
Okay, I think we get the idea. We're 2 years out, right, from Dan Markell's murder.
That's correct.
Okay. And who is Dave? Did you identify Dave through the course of the investigation?
We did. He's Dave Attell. He owned he was a successful businessman and lived in South Florida.
And is this the only call that happened to be captured on the wire in which these two are discussing Wendy's love life?
No, it wasn't.
They talk about Dave quite a bit.
They did several times.
All right, and they talk about Wendy's career options too, don't they?
They do.
And does the defendant, Donna Adelson, enlist Charlie to convince Wendy to do her bidding in reference to Wendy's career as well?
Correct, she does.
I'm going to publish call number 2873 at this time, Judge.
You may proceed.
Learn as much as you can from these people. Sounds like you're not learning much of anything.
No,
But
myself.
I would take the course. The courses, you could do the courses 2 different ways. I think it's either 1 week, but then you take the course, or you could go like every weekend for a month, and then you take the test.
I'm not, but I'm not even thinking about that right now. Like, I still, I like how
This isn't what it's
being
supposed to be.
medical field, like, so I would be.
Is this 2873? No, boo. All right, we'll come back to that one. Sorry, folks, wrong call. All right, are you familiar with the bump in this case?
I am.
All right, what's the bump?
The bump is where we took an undercover agent and had him approach Mrs. Adelson with a plan. It was during the time of the investigation. We had evidence that linked Luis Rivera and Sigfredo Garcia to being the actual hitmen. So in 2016, we decided to created the bump to have an undercover approach her, pretending to be a former cellmate of Luis Rivera. Luis Rivera in 2016 was actually incarcerated in the Broward County detention facility and then went to another jail. So we wanted the undercover to pretend to be in a jail cell with Luis Rivera and pretend that Luis Rivera told him about the hit in Tallahassee with the Adelsons. Not with the Adelsons, but the hit that that was created, linking back because we had telephone calls going through, linking Luis Rivera to Sigfredo Garcia, then to Catherine McBanwa, then to Charlie Adelson, then to Mrs. Adelson here.
So it was a ruse.
It was a ruse.
Designed to generate chatter on the wire.
It was. It was 2 years after the homicide, and we started a wire, and we knew that they were not talking about the homicide anymore. So we wanted to we call it tickling the wire.
And was the goal to identify, if the pattern that we're seeing that we think is the members of the conspiracy, is that right? Who's a member of the conspiracy and what are their roles?
Yeah, we had Luis Rivera, Sigfredo Garcia would talk, and then Sigfredo Garcia talked to Catherine McManus through the phones. Catherine McManus would talk to Charlie Adelson through phones. Charlie Adelson would talk to Donna Adelson through the phones, and then it would go back, and it would always go back and forth in that order. It never skipped anyone, never, no one ever jumped over to the other person. It always went back and forth. So we had that in the phone records leading up to the homicide, but what we didn't have was the conversations.
So was it of interest to find out, if we approach Donna Adelson in this way, what's she going to do? Who's she going to go to?
Exactly.
Is she
See
going to
what
call
her
the
reaction
police?
was.
Is she going to call Luis Rivera? What's she going to do?
Exactly.
Right? Okay. And did you have an opportunity to review State's Exhibit 113? Is that in evidence? 113 contains the combined videos from both the body-worn camera of the officer that approached the defendant and also the angle from across the street.
That's correct.
Okay, and are these fair and accurate recordings of the bump from both those angles?
They are.
All right, moving to evidence, States 113, Judge.
Any objection?
No objection.
States 113 is admitted.
All right, and the undercover, the officer that played the gang member, I guess, said that he was instructed not to be aggressive or not to scare the defendant. Was that you that instructed him on that?
It was. We had, we didn't want to cause concerns for the agent's safety. If he approached her being too aggressive and too scary, we didn't know how she would react, if she would possibly be armed at the time. We had no idea, so didn't want to create a hostile environment to make her become overly aggressive
And
cause him.
Is that a concern in every undercover operation, that you just kind of don't know what you're going to get? I mean, it's not specific to this defendant, right?
That's correct. That's in every case. We try to minimize the risk to the officer's safety and the people around.
Okay. Let's publish 113, please.
Black shorts. What is it? Yeah. Okay, bye. Excuse me, Mrs. Adelson? How you doing? Just want to give you this. Listen.
You're scared.
No, don't be scared. Listen, I just want to let you know that we know that your family has been taking care of Katie and her friend Pluto for quite some time after your problem up north has been resolved. And I want to let you know that my brother, he's incarcerated. He helped your family with this problem you guys had up north. And we want to make sure that he's going through some rough times, and we want to make sure that you take care of what he's going through, the way you're taking care of Katie and Tuzo. Well, this will explain it. Thank you.
Pause it, please. Does the defendant remain under surveillance for some time after this?
She does.
Okay, we see her take the paper from the undercover and fold it and put it into her purse. Does she ever take it out and look at it before she gets back into her building?
Not that we ever saw, no.
And does she make any phone calls once she goes back into her building?
When she goes back into her building, she does.
And who is the first person that the defendant calls after the bump?
Charlie Adelson.
All right, is that call A?
It is.
Okay, publish call A, please.
have time tonight after work or some other time in the very near future, I need to meet with you with you.
Okay.
Okay?
Did someone write a letter to you or something?
I've got some paperwork hand delivered to me.
You're being sued?
No, that's what I thought it was, but I'm going to need to talk to you.
Okay.
Okay? So, I mean, I can even, I don't know how to figure out something. Depends how late you'll be, wherever you are.
Well, I'm in Mitch Klein's office on Oakland Park Boulevard.
Okay.
So I'm right now in Skyline Chili, and I'll be at his office in the afternoon.
Okay. So the boys will finish their piano lesson around 4-ish, and I've got the traffic over there, and they take a ride with them up there.
Does Dad know about this?
The dad's at work today, fortunately.
What's is it IRS? Or?
You know, those IRS people, they kind of bother you sometimes, but, you know, fortunately not now.
Okay.
So I will talk to you. I'll give you a heads up if I'm going to drive up that way. Okay? And
Is Wendy down there? Is it involved Wendy?
No. So let me just talk to you later, and
What is it? Is that health okay?
Yeah.
Does it involve me or other people?
Well, probably both of us.
What's that?
Probably the two of us. So you probably have a general idea what I'm talking about. So let's just find some time to talk to each other and take the boys for a ride, okay?
You're going to take the boys up there?
Well, maybe they can come home. Maybe we can get here till about 7 when the dad gets here.
So this morning you talked to me today?
Tomorrow, and it's important.
All right. Well, I'll be up at Mitch Klein's office. You want to come up? Oh yeah, so really late.
I'm just concerned that I just have to get up there and get back in time for Lindsay to get them. Sometimes she gets out a little earlier, but not coming out here.
Can I ask you a question? Who's the paperwork sent from?
I see that, that's great. It was something that came hand to hand to me. I asked it to go on today.
Is it anonymous or?
No, oh no, it's not anonymous. Not anonymous. I just don't want to discuss it on the phone.
Right, whatever it is. It's silly, but if you want,
I wouldn't bother you. Trust me.
Yeah. Do you want me to come down to see you tomorrow after the day off?
Yes, that would be wonderful. Dad actually works later tomorrow. You know, he goes in at 1 o'clock. We both work out at the gym from 9:30 to 10:30. So
whatever it is, I'll take a look at the paperwork.
Yeah.
I hope it's not the IRS.
I just would like you to review it and give me some input as to what your thoughts are.
All right.
Okay. So come down tomorrow. Dad leaves at 12, so anytime after 12 is good.
12 tomorrow.
Yeah, he leaves at 12. He starts at 1 there, so 12, 12:15.
I'll come down after that. I think I'll leave and see what's good.
That would be great.
Perfect. All right. I'll talk to you later.
Love you coming by.
Would you describe the defendant's demeanor on this call as really calm?
Yes,
She says Dad's at work, fortunately.
she does.
Does she indicate that she's in fear on the call?
No, she does not.
She was handed a piece of paper that had an article about the murder of Dan Markell, right?
Correct.
That's what the interaction was about.
That's correct. That's what he handed her and made reference to it.
And when Charlie asked the defendant what it's about, what does she say?
She says to both of us,
Probably both of us, probably the two of us.
and then the two of us. Said it twice.
Does she say the name Dan Markel on this call?
No, she does not.
Does she say the name Dan Markel anywhere on this wire?
No, not that I recall.
Did she report this incident to the police?
No, she did not.
Is there another call shortly after this one?
There it is.
Tell us about the next call, call B.
Call B is on the same day. It's from Mr. Charlie Adelson to Mrs. Donna Adelson, and it occurred about, I want to say about 20 minutes after the call we just listened to, at 2:35 p.m.
Let's publish call B, please.
Hey, how are you?
Okay.
Good. Is it me not paying the sun tax? I'm kidding. No, listen, what was I gonna say? Do you mind paying my Brown and Brown insurance?
No, it's fine.
Okay, because I'm gonna just stick with the same company. Yeah, but the thing is this, if you stay with the same company for 3 years, they then try to bump you down to lower bracket.
Oh, okay. So it's a good idea that you went.
So I might as well stay with them and then hope that that's actually true, that they can do what you said about putting you in the lower bracket.
Okay. So you want me to call Pam Hall?
Yeah, because I told her that my mom would call her because she's handles like that stuff at the office.
Okay.
And then just send them a check. Because they have to have it for, I want to say the 29th or something.
Okay.
And I'm looking at do that. And listen, whatever it is, whatever someone says, I wouldn't worry too much about anything.
Okay.
I mean, so if someone can write whatever they want to write, someone can say whatever they want to say, and I'm not worried. So, was it another bad review on Yelp?
You know, there's reviews come in. Sometimes they're not bad reviews. This is a particularly bad one. So, yeah.
So I'm not being sued.
No.
Okay. All right. Honestly, it's whatever it is, and I wouldn't just judging from what you're making it sound like. I wouldn't stress it out too much.
Okay. It's probably nothing.
Oh, yeah, listen, people can always write, people can always say anything they want. It doesn't, someone says you're a bad dentist, it doesn't mean you're a bad dentist. So, but anyway, I'll definitely come down. It actually worked out perfectly because I had the day off.
Okay. So I'll make you take me out to dinner, so make sure you bring cash with you.
Alright.
Okay?
Do I need to bring cash?
Yeah, it's like if you take me out to dinner, I'm going to have to give you that's probably a good idea, right?
Yeah. Was this, look, I should bring cash. I don't have much cash to bring.
Yeah. I'll see if I have money to go and see what I can share. Okay?
Can I ask you, is someone blackmailing you?
Well, that's always a good possibility.
You think someone's trying to blackmail you?
Maybe. Could be.
No. That's crazy. Is there, I don't know what blackmail is for, but is there any way I can see you? You can't come up here at all?
It's going to be difficult because they won't finish the piano teacher doesn't leave till about 4:15. And even if I came up there and got there a little after 5:15, it would still be tough to, necessarily get back here in time for you to pick them up.
Was this, can I just ask you this? Is this anything government related, or is this like whack job writing a letter to you?
Like who?
Is it like a whack job writing a letter to you, or is this government related?
No, I don't know if it's government related.
So it's not government or military or anything like that?
No.
Who was the letter addressed to?
Me.
To you? That's crazy. Did it have a, do you know who sent it to you?
I have a pretty good idea. But, you know, let's walk in and let's walk over either. And I would like to, that's the trouble just today. I will definitely, I just don't know if I'm going to get back here in time for them to not know who the ones
Is it, so whoever sent you a letter sent you an anonymous letter?
Not really anonymous.
Did they sign it?
It's hand-delivered.
So someone showed up, was it like by a process server?
That's what I said it was.
It wasn't.
No.
Where did they come to you at?
When I walked out of the building, on the river right, and I put back both driveways with the icon.
Right.
And I walked in about 5 feet from pressing the button so that I could cross the street to pick up the guys this afternoon.
Right.
And just as I got on the sidewalk. Yeah. Okay, Susie, so you stay up here then, okay? You stay up here. I'll look on the computer and then finish it, okay? Yeah, amazing. Somebody knew exactly who I was. Called me by name.
And he came over and was it a young guy, an old guy?
So probably mid-30s. I wouldn't forget that face.
Really?
So I can make the attempt to go up there. I'm just concerned about getting back here in time and when we say you're worried. I don't think it's a good idea for the girls to say you want to get lost. You know?
All right.
And there's going to be a check for something.
Well, I mean, you have to get into the stuff with insurance. I mean, it's crazy that someone handed you a letter like that. I don't know.
Maybe we better just keep it tomorrow, about 12:15, 12:21.
Is the person like threatening you or anything?
You're never going to have it interpreted. So, let's not worry, and let's meet tomorrow. I think that's better. But let's meet tomorrow this afternoon.
All right, let me ask you this. Do you want to take a picture of the letter and send me what someone sent you?
No, not really. I'm going to do that.
So it wasn't the government or the military or somebody, just some random person?
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. How long was the letter?
No, it was just a copy of an article. It's what was written in the letter. That was written in a copy of that letter.
Is the person threatening you?
I don't think we should.
I mean, it's kind of saying if there's a threat, you go to the police.
Yeah.
But anyway, let me.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Well, I don't think it's people threaten you gotta go to the police. But let me see what it is. Let me see what nonsense it is first.
Okay.
It won't be the first time I've been threatened.
Yeah.
But
I'd like you to just see what you think.
yeah, no.
Fish, go get a fish right here, right up here. So let's do that. Let's make it, 12:20, 12:30 tomorrow. That would be ideal. Okay?
Okay. You got it.
I'm going to play with the boys a little bit, okay?
All right. Yeah. No. I'll come down. I'll see you.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
all right, if it's something serious, you know I'm gonna recommend going to the police, so.
Oh, no, I know, that's what I'm supposed to do.
So, all right, sounds good.
Just till tomorrow, okay?
All right,
On this call, we hear the defendant say that this is a particularly bad Yelp review. Is this an example of code talk?
Yes.
This doesn't have anything to do with the Yelp review, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, so already in call 2, we've got code words being used.
That's correct.
And she indicates that Charlie should bring cash, and if he doesn't have it, she'll bring it, right?
She does.
Does she indicate she knows who sent her the letter?
She does in a way. She knows who the person was by seeing them.
She says, I have a pretty good idea who sent it.
Right.
He asks if she wants to send him a picture of what she received from the person. What's her answer?
And she didn't think that was a good idea.
He asks if there's a threat, we should go to the police. What does she say about that?
She says at the end, she finally says something like, we might do that, something around there.
Okay, but initially says not a good idea.
Correct.
And did anyone go to the police?
No.
Does she reiterate in this call no talking on the phone?
Did she indicate that?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. And is there a third call in which Charlie calls back and presses for more information again?
Yes, there is.
How soon after call B do we get that next call?
The next call is at 3 o'clock, so about 15 minutes after that call ended.
All right, publish call C, please.
Hey, sorry about that. Quick question for you. Well, one thing I was going to tell you is obviously don't talk about things in the apartment or any place.
Oh, obviously.
The other thing is, was the person black, white, Hispanic?
What?
And they just came up to you and they said your name and they handed you a piece of paper?
No, no, didn't hand it right away. First talked to me for a while and then handed it to me.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And they wearing hats, sunglasses, or?
No, nothing. Nothing. You could describe them to a T.
What's that?
You could describe them to a T. No, nothing.
Was the person nervous or were they angry or?
No, calm as could be. Totally calm.
That's really crazy. Are they trying to ask for money or something?
Yeah.
But if someone trying to, I mean, listen, if it's something like that, it sounds probably like you go to the police, but
I may have to, but I'd rather talk to you first and then.
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, there's scumbags out there all the time that try to do stuff like that.
Oh, no.
So,
That's why I just want you to see, because I don't want, not your father upset. So,
don't say anything to dad until I take a look at it, because dad flies off there.
Absolutely.
On everything.
That's what I suggested, after he goes to work tomorrow.
Did the person give you any kind of like time frame or anything?
No.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
it's clear what's wanted.
What is it, kind of ask you, what do they ask for?
I don't know, this TV is probably about 5.
They ask you for $5,000?
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mentioned, like an ex-girlfriend. Hi, Sandra. Good morning. Good. How are you? Okay.
that's crazy. Let me take a look at it,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll go from there.
Lincoln's on first. Okay, do that one. Yeah.
Okay. Let me take a look, and then I'll.
That's why I just thought, if you wanted to go to dinner, we'll see where we'll go.
Yeah, I'll go down in the afternoon, and I'll take a look at whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever
We'll go,
today.
maybe we'll go for a walk on the beach or something. It's gonna be nice tomorrow.
All right, sounds good.
Okay?
All right, sounds good.
Love you too, honey. Bye-bye. Yes.
All right, so this call, Charlie says obviously don't talk about things in the apartment or any place.
One moment. What is the objection? His approach. Objection is overruled. You may continue with your examination.
Oh gosh, where are we? Obviously, don't talk about things in the apartment or any place. And she says, obviously, right?
That's correct.
Why?
That's a good question.
Did you have the apartment bugged?
No, we did not.
Did the gang member have the apartment bugged?
No, we didn't.
And next, there's a statement, this TV is probably going to be about 5. Was there anything to do with the TV in this bump operation?
Yes.
Well, was the word TV mentioned to Donna Adelson when the undercover approached her?
No, not at all.
Did he say she was buying a TV for $5,000?
No.
Okay. So the TV, though, has significance in the greater context of your investigation?
That's correct.
How so?
Charlie Adelson had supposedly joked to several people about buying his sister a TV as a divorce present instead of hiring a hitman.
Right. And was that the same TV that also served as Wendy Adelson's alibi in the morning of the murder?
That's correct.
In this call that we just heard, Donna Adelson says that the person that approached her, quote, mentioned an ex-girlfriend.
I'm going to object again based on the same thing we discussed at sidebar.
Overruled. Please clarify your question, Ms. Ketterman, so it's clear as the context.
When Ms. Adelson is talking on this call that we just heard, she says that the undercover, quote, mentioned an ex-girlfriend. Does she say the name of the ex-girlfriend
No.
to Charlie Adelson?
No, she doesn't.
All right. Did the undercover say the name of an ex-girlfriend to Donna Adelson?
Yes, he did.
What did he say?
He said Katie and Tudo.
Okay. And does Charlie have more than one ex-girlfriend?
Yes, he does.
He has a litany of them, right?
He does.
Okay. So when Charlie hears ex-girlfriend, does he, in fact, on the next call one of his ex-girlfriends?
Yes, he does.
Okay. And he has not been told Katie yet?
That's correct.
Okay. Who does he call?
He calls Catherine McManlin.
Is that our call D, the next call?
Yes, it is.
All right, publish call D, please.
Hello?
Hey, what's going on?
What's up?
No, like, are you someplace you can talk to me?
So what?
Are you any place that you can talk to?
You can talk right now.
What's that?
Just talk right now. Just talk.
Okay, can you go somewhere that's not loud when I'm talking to you?
I can't. It's like loud, so I can't get out.
Okay, I'm trying to walk outside and talk to you right now. I can't even fucking get outside. Alright, leave it on. Alright, somebody... Hang on, okay? Can you hear me okay?
I can hear.
Okay. I just want you to listen to me. I'll be able to talk to you in person when I see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Because I don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But my mom walked the kids. I only heard part of the story.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go down there and talk to her tomorrow to find out what's going on.
Okay.
Because she didn't want to elaborate.
Uh-huh.
But she said that someone approached her on the street,
Uh-huh.
called her by name,
Mm-hmm.
handed her an envelope with something in it.
Yeah.
And somebody was, she really wouldn't go into detail. I have no idea what this is in reference to.
Uh-huh.
But something regarding her son, something regarding his ex-girlfriend, and the person asking my mom for some money.
What?
Yeah. So I said, well, yeah. I'm like, first what you're saying, I thought it was like something involving the IRS or a payment
Yeah.
or something like that. So I don't even know what the fuck it's about at all.
So somebody just like bumped into your mom like that?
Well, they came up to her on the street after she dropped the kids off at school. I guess she brought them to school. I don't even know. But they must know her routine. They must know who she is.
Yeah.
They walked up to her. They called her by name. They handed her an envelope. And she said they spoke to her for a few minutes. And then she said they were making reference to my ex-girlfriend. I have no fucking clue what that's about.
Yeah.
And then they explained that they needed to be paid the money.
For what?
I guess Bob didn't want to talk to me on the phone. But
like, did she see the person? Was she like, she should have like,
oh yeah,
asked her
that's what I said. I said, someone's going to try to blackmail you or something.
Exactly,
Right.
right. Running you like that.
I said, yeah, you're fake. Because she's like, I don't even know what this is about. I don't want to talk about it. I go, well, take a picture and send me what it is. She's like, I just want you to see it in person. So I'm going to go there. I can't even fucking go there today because I won't get out of work until 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So she's like, just.
So who was like stalking your mom?
I don't even fucking know. I don't know what's going on, what my mom's involved. You didn't do anything with my mom. I mean, yeah.
Look what I do with my mom.
Okay, just checking. Just checking. I don't know what.
No, but I feel
who knows?
for your mom. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, well, I don't
know.
know.
Person, like, just going up to your mom, like, hello.
Yeah, and my mom said it involved your ex-girlfriend, so I don't even think she said who. I'm just like, you're my last girlfriend, so that's why I'm calling you.
What do they want from her?
I have no idea. So anyway, I'm gonna find out. Well, they wanted money.
I know, exactly. Did she tell you? Like, what
No, she was just kind of like a little bit rattled and with the kids and was like, listen, just as soon as I have the day off tomorrow, so she's like, come down and talk to me. So I'm going down tomorrow to talk to her, and then I don't remember if it had anything to do with you. If they're mentioning you or if any reference to you, I'll keep you posted.
Why not doing me? Yeah, like
I don't know.
Girlfriend.
Well, we'll talk. It could be any. So I just assumed that.
Exactly.
But anyway, it doesn't matter. So I may want to see you tomorrow if it does have anything to do with you. If it doesn't, then I feel like a fucking idiot for even following, wasting your time. But if it
I
does,
would feel bad for your mom. Like, who the hell did she? I thought that was me with the right comment right away. Like,
I know. I said, Mom, was the guy wearing mask glasses? Mom was like, no, I can take the person out one after a second. They came over to me. They spoke to me very politely. There was a white male in his 30s. No hat, no glasses. Just a white male in the 30s. Came up there and who she was. Addressed her. So, but anyway, either here or there, I feel like an idiot if it was some other heck. But anyway.
Yeah. Did you have any fight with anyone right over there or something?
I don't know. I mean, maybe I should just be calling everybody today.
No, yeah, you should try to find out.
I thought when I spoke to my mom, she said they mentioned your name in it. That's why I was calling you, but I'm going to feel like an idiot if they didn't. So, but anyway, are you working tomorrow or what's the story?
Yeah, but you can always talk while you're there. Doesn't matter.
Alright, what time to finish work?
Thank you. Alright, let me know.
What time you finish work tomorrow?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Well, like I told them like I'm usually between like 9:30 to. You want me to get up? Okay.
What?
Anytime between 9:30 to like 3-ish, 4-ish. It depends.
Okay.
Like today I was like super like crazy.
Okay, I gotta get back in there. I'm gonna be in Miami, and when I'm done hanging out down there, I'm gonna come to you. Okay?
Yeah, I'm like right there,
So figure somewhere around 4-ish, I'll see you.
Okay.
Alright. No worries, kiddo.
Alright.
Alright. Have a good day. I'll talk to you later.
Business.
In this call, Charlie Adelson tells Catherine Magbanua that the man that approached his mother said, quote, something regarding her son and his ex-girlfriend. Did the undercover say anything about Charlie Adelson or Donna's son?
No.
Did the undercover reference Charlie Adelson at all?
No, he did not.
When Donna Adelson relayed to Charlie what the undercover did she say they mentioned you?
No.
But he deduces that he misremembers that it was about him.
That's what it appears, correct.
Did he proceed after this call to call any of his other ex-girlfriends?
No, he did not.
Did he speak to anyone else about this other than the family members that we're going to hear in Catherine Magbanua?
No, he didn't.
Right. There was discussion of an in-person meeting between the defendant and her son, Charlie Adelson. Did that take place?
It did.
When did that take place?
The following day at about, I think it was around 1 o'clock.
Is this April 20th, 2016?
That's correct.
Where did the meeting take place?
It took place behind Mrs. Adelson's building. They actually met in the building, we believe, and then came out the back of it and walked down. There's a sidewalk along the water behind their building. And they walked along the sidewalk to a restaurant called Monty's, and there's a table out by the water, out by itself, just behind the restaurant, that they went and sat at and met there and talked.
What, if any, efforts were...
Ms. Adelson, if you need your hearing assisting device, please wear it so you do not miss any of the evidence. Please ask your question again.
What, if any, efforts were made to surveil or record the meeting between Charlie Adelson and the defendant?
Yes, I had recording equipment brought in, and we tried to get as close as we could to them. They sat out away from anyone else across the sidewalk, right by the water on one side of them and the sidewalk on the other, and we couldn't get very close to them without alerting them that we were there.
Were you able to record the contents of their conversation at that in-person meeting?
No, we tried, but it was inaudible. There was no audio.
Were you able to get any photographs of this in-person meeting?
I was.
Judge, at this time, I'd ask to introduce States 53.
Any objection?
No objection.
States 53 is admitted.
May I publish?
You may.
Can you describe for the jury their demeanor, the way in which they were speaking at this meeting?
Yes, they were talking in very low voices, and Mr. Adelson is usually very loud, but he was not talking in a loud voice in this particular meeting. Even when they walked down the sidewalk, they were talking very low, leaning into each other, almost a whisper.
How long did the meeting last?
I believe around 30 minutes at the table.
Judge, I think this might be a good time to recess for the day.
Very well. Members of the jury, we are going to take our break for the evening at this point. Once again, I'm going to remind you not to discuss this case with anyone else or each other. Also, as well, do not seek out any information or news reporting concerning this matter. Just leave the items that you were handed in your chair along with your notepads. Please report tomorrow at 8:30, and we will continue with the examination of the witness. We anticipate getting started by 8:45. Have a good evening. Everyone can be seated. Ms. Kappelman, for the direct of Agent Sanford, how much longer do you believe that will take tomorrow?
It's going to take most of the day tomorrow. I do hope to get a couple more witnesses on.